Hello miners, Lefty coming at you, and we got a crazy one today. We have the Kershaw 2314. These knives, this knife was last made in 2003. It's also like the caper I showed you. It's a Tom Veff hunting knife, design knife. It's made in Japan. And it's made out of Oz 8A steel and Cocobolo wood handles. Definitely a hunting knife. It's called the Majesty. We do have a deep hollow grind right through here. I can tell that it's a hollow grind. Sometimes I can't even feel hollow grinds on hollow grinds, but when you stick your thumb here, definitely can feel that. Very thin, tons of jimping, great ergos, good size, nice belly and a gut hook. Man, very nice hunting knife. Full-tang construction. This is a lot thicker than the mate for this, and that would be the caper. And so when we're looking at these two, I'll kind of do some comparisons on that. And that's going to be like the ultimate pair. This one's going to allow you to do a lot of processing, and this one's going to help you do the skinning. And you can see the difference in the thickness on these knives, and that all has to do with the way they're used. And a lot of people, you could use this as a bird and or trout knife. But this is definitely your hunting knife. It's going to compete with your buck alpha hunter in a lot of ways. So let's talk about that. Those of you who saw the video on the caper are going to kind of get a redo here. But Oz 8A steel means it's been annealed. And annealing is part of the process where what they'll do is they'll heat up the steel and then they'll let it cool. They'll heat it up and they'll let it cool. Whatever the directions are, and it will take and it will adjust the grains in the steel. And so when they quench the knife, because after they do that 2 or 3 or 4 times, they'll heat the knife to the appropriate temperature, and then they'll quench it as they're supposed to quench it, and that will lock those grains in place. And the annealing gives you a more consistent grain structure. That's going to give you a longer lasting edge. It's going to give you a more toughness. It's just going to give you better steel. The time these knives were made, they were made in Japan, and they were the premier makers in the world for knives. Maybe still are. Japanese knives or made knives are very sought after. Cocobolo wood is also very sought after wood. It's the hardest, densest, most colorful redwood species. It is full of its own oil, and that makes it very weather resistant. So this knife holds up to the outdoors well. I bought this one used off of eBay, but from what I can tell, I think it's just been handled. This darkness, the darker color here, I think is mostly from palm oil. And no, I don't mean palm tree. I mean palm from your hand. Yeah, so whoever had this, I think this is the factory edge, and I don't think that they use this knife other than just to hold it. So it's a beautiful hunting knife, the Majesty, and because it's discontinued and no longer available, it's a pretty rare knife. And I'm seeing these, I got this one for an unbelievably low price. But you guys, yeah, beautiful Beautiful hunting knife. Oh, Tom Veff, by the way, if you guys watch my videos, I did mention it in the other one. He created the Veff serrations, licensed them, sold them to CRKT. So if you are a, if you're a knife guy, you're familiar with the Veff serrations, and they're freaking awesome. So you got a nice designer. Got the Kershaw, you got the Japan, and you got Tom Veff, Cocobolo wood, Oz 8A steel, gut hook. What more can you want? All right, guys, thanks for joining the miner. Oh, I should mention, so both these knives come with a nice leather sheath, has Kershaw on it. You can see this one has some, that green, that, oh man, what do we call that? A lot of people, patina. So this one's getting the patina in there. The knife does go in, and it's got this nice plastic insert, which is going to hold the knife in place. And then we bring that around, snap it, and we got a nice belt loop here. And just a great hunting knife, not overly big or anything like that. So kind of take a peek at the pair of those. Beautiful. All right, guys. Thanks now.